5-yard line going against the wind as strong as it is, and you come out throwing a play-action pass and hitting a quick out on first down, you're playing with a lot of confidence. You have a lot of confidence in the receiver, and everybody's got confidence in you because he didn't hesitate. He just stepped back and let it go.
2nd and 6, Winnipeg. The drop play with William Miller. Well, maybe they did get the first down. He's across the 15. Upset there by John Martini. The placement of the ball will be all important here. They have got a first down.
Play. John Martini made a good play to prevent him, from getting a bigger gain. The offensive line opened it up underneath. You see right here, center blocks back, up the hole comes Butler. He's looking for somebody, and Miller just follows him into the secondary.
I think even you or I might have been able to run through that hole, although I know with me it would have taken a lot longer to get there.
Well, I was going to say maybe you, not me.
William Miller tried to go inside, then he's forced wide by Southwick, and he's caught by Roberts for a loss of about 5. Reggie Lewis, from his defensive end position, was the man who initially forced Miller back.
Miller doesn't like this. The reason for it is he has to go. There's no way for him to go. Reggie comes in. Uh-oh, guy got a hold of him pretty good, doesn't he? Reggie doesn't like to be held now. He's going to remind him of that in a little bit. No defensive lineman ever likes to be held.
Reggie Lewis, who had his wish granted when he suggested earlier in the season that he would like to be traded to the Toronto Argonauts. Jack Buda complied in exchange for Dan Bass. The pass for Goodlow, he's got it, first down. He's taken out of bounds by Rose at the 28.
Well, they seem to be working on Rose a lot, and he is new, he is a rookie, but he's not in very bad position here. This ball's thrown well. Goodlow runs a good pattern, and the ball, there's not much you can do about that. He's done him, not bad coverage right there for a youngster. As you'll see, Goodlow just comes off by himself. He's only 2 men out pattern, drives him deep, turns him around a little bit. Brock throws the ball there, Rose makes a tackle, but he did a good job by making the defensive back turn his back and then break away from him.
Well, when you prepare for a game like this by watching a quarterback who has completed 41 of 47, you must be a little shell-shocked.
Oh, you've got to be shell-shocked.
The pass intended for Goodlow, incomplete. We have a timeout with Winnipeg leading by 24.
Spend a little time with Sanyo, and you'll have the time of your life. It's a big sound that goes a long way. That's never missing your favorite play.
It's a meal prepared while you're away.
It's enjoying sports in a big way. Spend a little time with Sanyo, a little time of your life. 'Cause Sanyo makes life's good things better.
Tonight and tomorrow, CBC presents a special 2-part documentary on Canada's World War II internment camps, The Spies Who Never Were. Tonight and tomorrow on CBC.
The Argonauts finally got a little bit of pressure on Brock that time, and he had to scramble out of the pocket. And when you scramble out of there and try to throw into the wind, a lot of times it doesn't sail as the way you want to, and it went into the ground on it.
Brock under a little pressure there from Reggie Lewis. It was an attempted screen to William Miller. It almost hit Larry Butler in the back.
Put the pressure on him one play, he comes right back and throws a screen to relieve that pressure for later in the game. Just a little bit too fast. Reggie got the pressure on him before he wanted him. You're going to get pressure on a screen, but it's got to take a little bit longer, but Brock couldn't wait. He had to get rid of it. See, Reggie Lewis should not come free on that. The pressure should come from the side you're throwing the screen to. Reggie just beat somebody, which he's been known to do.
He has been known to beat a few people while in the employ of the Calgary Stampeders. Bob Cameron's third down punt, and Brent Brissett came very close to blocking it. Carinci on the return. And Toronto will enjoy good field position. The ball is at the Winnipeg 47. A 32-yard kick and a run back by Jan Carinci of 13 yards.
Ron Meeks has come close a couple times on the punt rush. In fact, the whole Argonaut team's come after the kicker a lot more today than you normally see in a football game. They haven't got one, but they've pressured him.
Well, we apologize for any difficulties you may have with the shadows of the West Side Grandstand causing problems on your television set. They are also creating a great deal of difficulty for our video operator, and he is attempting to do the best he can under the circumstances. Paul Pearson, the intended receiver. Vernon Paul was defending on him.
To play Holloway liked to run a little bit of play action and then try to get outside with the football. And Vernon Paul did a good job of staying with Paul Pearson that time when the ball was overthrown. Pretty difficult on those linebackers to have to run with backs. And Paul was not very far away.
Tommy Hudspeth hasn't lost his sense of humor in talking about this game and Dieter Brock's 41 of 47 effort. We can't complete that many in practice.
Well, hey, I tell you, that's hard to do.
It is almost picked off. Paul Bennett just came up on the intended receiver, Peter Mueller, and belted him after it went off his fingertips. And Bennett has the reputation of being quite a hitter.
Oh, he can hit. And if he hadn't been so intent on really getting a good lick on him, he'd have probably got this pass as it tips off his hands. But he's already decided what he's going to do, and there it is. He put a good hit on Mueller and just dropped him. Then he looked at him to say, you're not going to get up, are you? I have to do it again.
A field goal attempt by Zenon Andrusician as Paul Bennett retreats. He is the only one going back for Winnipeg. Kick is good. Not a classic for the Big Z, but it went through the uprights, and it's 27-6 with 4:32 left in this first third quarter.
It wasn't pretty, but it went through there. I don't know how it made it. It looked like one of those dead balls that just gets up there and keeps fluttering with the wind, but the wind threw it through there at the end. That's all that matters.
I think Andrusician himself was a little surprised that it went through.
See what Big Z has to say. Oh, there's nothing to it.
At first, I thought he had missed it.
Oh, he definitely did. It didn't look like it should have been good, but the wind wouldn't let it hit the ground.
A 54-yard field goal by Zenon Andrusician. William Miller is caught at the 40, a gain of 5.
It's a good thing Russ got a hold of him there. He's going to get outside to a lot of green grass on the outside there, and Russ just got a foot. Brought him down.
Miller is hurt. He returned last week against the Ottawa Rough Riders after being sidelined for 2 games with an ankle injury.
There you see, Big Bobby Thompson blocks down. Bastaya leads up through the hole. He makes the block on the one linebacker, but here's Russ. Just gets him by the ankles, or he's got some room and plus a blocker out in front of him.
And it could be that he has re-injured that somewhat tender ankle. And defensive back Don Burrell is also having some problems on the sidelines as they work on what appears to be his calf muscle. That right ankle being favored by Miller as he heads to the bench, and that does not look good for the Blue Bombers. Bruce Wilkins, number 32, coming into the game to replace William Miller.
I don't think Bruce has the same speed that Miller has.
No, I don't think he's the breakaway threat that William Miller is. Probably means Brock will throw it even more than he has. Winging it out to Hucklack. He beats the first man and then gets the first down.
I think Brock was looking for Poplowski again underneath, but he couldn't find him, and he stepped up in the pocket and in the last minute just flipped the ball out to Hucklack, and he makes the first down.
Well, an encouraging sign for Blue Bomber fans with William Miller now up and walking at the Winnipeg bench.
I believe they'll let him rest for a while. Make sure that thing's okay. They're going to need him next week.
Yes, next week they have a big game against the British Columbia Lions. A game that could eventually determine second place in the West. On first down, the second man through is Hucklack, and he has a couple of yards before he is stopped by Reggie Lewis. We have a timeout with 3 minutes remaining in quarter 3. 2nd and 8, the situation facing Dieter Brock and the Blue Bombers as they scrimmage at the Winnipeg 47-yard line. We remind you at the conclusion of the game to stay tuned for the Carling O'Keefe Game Stars, the outstanding offensive and defensive performers. Dieter Brock certainly merits some consideration for the outstanding offensive performer in this game. Intended for Goodlow, he was being covered by Rose once again. So it's third down, Winnipeg.
He sent two receivers out again, kept maximum protection. He keeps both backs in to help him. This time he tries to send Goodlow to the post inside of him, and he tried to throw the ball hard to split that seam right there, and now the wind will affect the ball. When you throw it, try to drill it in there, you don't get the perfect spiral, the wind will knock it down. And the defensive backs had him covered. There was two of them, and he would have been a difficult catch at the best for him. Yes.
Here's the third down kick. Carinci takes it at the 30. To the 36, and then he's driven back by Ken Chantoni, who does quite a job for Winnipeg on those special teams. A 31-yard kick and a 4-yard return by Carinci. We remind you that this program is copyright and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited. .209 is the time left in the third quarter. The pass complete to Martin Cox. Cox breaks a couple of tackles and carries to the Winnipeg 50-yard line, where he's finally brought down by Vernon Paul. That's the first time they've gone to Cox this afternoon.
First time Minucci's gone to both wide receivers. Just a quick drop, about a 3-step drop, and he just throws the ball right at him. Cox makes the catch, breaks a couple tackles, and makes good yardage for him. But they've only thrown to both their wide receivers one time, and Minucci's been the one to do it.
Disappointing crowd taking in this afternoon's ball game, 22,757. A gain of 23 on that pass to Cox. They were trying to go for David Dorn. He was overthrown by Minucci.
Came right back with the same pattern, but to a different receiver. Just got it up in the air and a little bit overthrown.
Conrad Holloway started the game for the Argonauts. He was shaken up early, was able to come back, but was unable to put much offense together for the Double Blue. Minucci has worked this second half. Complete to Carinci. Carinci breaks one tackle. He gets the first down to the Winnipeg 38. He was stopped by Reggie Pearson and Ken Chantoni.
They put pressure on him that time. They brought their backers after him. He just took a quick drop. Here comes Reed up the middle. He just stops, throws the ball. Carinci just runs a short post, looks in, catches the ball, spins away from Pearson, and picks up a first down. Good thing he got rid of it. Reed was coming free.
Indication of how that wind is continuing to blow. With less than a minute remaining in this third quarter. Complete to Martin Cox. He could be gone. Touchdown, Toronto. Well, they waited until the third quarter to go to Martin Cox, and he puts a touchdown on the board for the Argonauts.
Again, just a quick step, 3-step drop. It's a quick slant to Cox. He hits him. He gets to the inside on Burrell and just wins the foot race with Bennett for the touchdown. Well executed. It's a real 1, 2, 3. 3 steps, lets it go. Hits him on stride. He's inside, and he's got better speed than I think they thought he had, and he gets into the secondary, and he's into the end zone.
For Martin Cox, his second touchdown of the season. On the point after attempt, Holloway had difficulty handling the football, and the score will hold at Winnipeg 27 and Toronto 12. Well, in all fairness to Conrad Holloway, it appeared to be a bad snap. Here's Minucci throwing to Cox again.
Just threw him a quick slant. He caught it to the inside, broke to the outside, and outran Paul Bennett into the end zone.
Not an afternoon that Conrad Holloway will care to recall.
No, it's not one of his better days. He's having some problems hanging on to that football today.
33 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 27-12, Winnipeg leading. Now, not only will the Argonauts have the scoreboard to contend with in just a few seconds, but they will also be going against that strong south wind. Then in Andrusician, earlier had contributed 2 field goals, one of 54 yards. kicks off for the Argonauts. Faison fumbles the ball. It bounces off his chest, and he was fortunate to be able to pick it up. He got out to the 25-yard line. Not a bad return after he mishandled the kickoff.
That happens a lot of times, Don, when that ball's kicked down in there, and the receiver goes to catch it and misses it and fumbles it around. It sometimes gets them out of their lanes chasing the football, and he finds a big seam. He takes a good shot, but he's got a good return. And it happens a lot of times because there's something about when that football's free, everybody wants the ball, and they sometimes leave their lane with coverage, and it gets them into trouble.
Don Burrell, who was back with Faison on that kickoff return pairing, heading to the bench, and obviously, along with Vince Faison, discussing with Coach York just what went wrong. William Miller is back for Winnipeg. However, he is going nowhere in the grasp of Zach Jones.
Zach Jones stayed home. William Miller tried to run the same play he'd been running. No place to go, so he bounced it to the backside. But Zach Jones, the inside safety on that side, just stayed at home and made the play. No gain.
Second down, Winnipeg. Zach Jones playing his first game for the Argonauts after being picked up from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Second down, Winnipeg. Brock looking for Rick House on the sidelines, incomplete. Pressure from Bruce Clark. That will be the final play of the third quarter. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers lead the Toronto Argonauts by 15 points.
Prestone 2 will show you what happens inside your radiator if your antifreeze is weak and neglected. Look, after only 9,000 miles, rust, corrosion, continued neglect can clog passages, causing costly damage. But look at this radiator. After 9,000 miles of Prestone 2, total protection, a real difference. Prestone 2's patented silicone silicate formula bonds to all metals, including aluminum, to lock out corrosion. Tested, proven protection. Get Prestone 2, the corrosion fighter.
The cars they said North America would never build are at your Pontiac dealers today.
Pontiac J.
The elegant 1982 J2000 four-door sedan, part of a new series of front-wheel drive Pontiacs. Quality that we feel stacks up against any competitive small car anywhere in the world.
Pontiac J2000. Nobody's got it like
You got it, Pontiac.
You'd have a room for
KTEL International presents Slim Whitman, Thinking of You.
beautiful, beautiful.
The most incredible success story of 1980 is back. This is Slim Whitman at his very best.
I love you more than
Part of KTEL's sound celebration. Slim Whitman, Thinking of You. It's in stores now.
He isn't ordering food for the post-game party. He's discussing some of the defensive alignments the Bombers will be going into following this Bob Cameron third down kick. With the wind, he caught it. Carinci fields it at the 32. He's done a good job of returning them for the Argonauts this afternoon. He gets it back to the 48-yard line. A 53-yard kick by Bob Cameron. And for Jan Carinci, a return of 16 yards. Miss Blue Bomber for 1981. And Miss Coyle will be joining a number of other young ladies from across the country in the Miss Grey Cup pageant to take place in Montreal during Grey Cup week. Minucci trying to get outside. His arm was hit just as he threw by John Helton.
His arm was hit by Helton, and the play was made by Tony Norman. It forced him to pull that up. He was trying to roll to the outside again, but Norman wouldn't let him. And when he pulled up, Helton got to him from the inside. You see, he's trying to get outside. He's got to get rid of the ball. Just as he lifts it to throw, somebody's got hold of him. Tony Norman's got him. Norman's put some pretty good heat on them Toronto quarterbacks today.
Yes, he has. On second down, intended for Dorn. It was off his fingertips as he was hit by Charles Williams. So the Argonauts will be forced to kick it away.
Quick slant, just a little bit too high, couldn't hold it. Williams was on it. I don't think he would have made the first down anyway because Williams came up real quick when the ball was thrown.
As I mentioned earlier, the attendance this afternoon, 22,757. Blue Bomber management will not be pleased with the crowd this afternoon. I think they were hoping to put about 30,000 into the stands, and in view of the fact that this game was so important, one would think that more people would have turned out. Good third down kick by Andrusician into the wind. It's fielded by Bennett. From his own 25, penalty flags fly as Bennett goes down at the 30.
Bennett looks like he really enjoys catching those punts back there. He brings that thing upfield the way he should. He runs into people, takes some good licks, but he jumps right back up.
Well, of course, the Wilfrid Laurier graduate holds the CFL record.
Holding, Winnipeg number 20. First down.
Charles Williams was caught holding on the punt return by Bennett.
Did you see him start up through there? You can see right there, Williams has a hold of somebody. No, referee catching. Bennett takes some shots, bounces off, takes 2 or 3 more good hits before he goes down. That's why he hits so hard on defense. He's getting even. All those punts.
Back at their own 17. Brock swinging it off to Miller. Miller hit immediately and dropped by Ron Southwick.
I believe Brock was looking to go deep there. He pumped his arm 2 or 3 times, but they were covered pretty good downfield, and he was forced to lay it off to Miller.
He initially, Ron, was looking downfield for Goodlow, who had coverage by Roberts.
Roberts was right with him, step for step, so good thing he didn't throw it there.
Ron Southwick, somewhat disgruntled linebacker, who has indicated that he would prefer to be traded if he is not going to be a starter with the Argonauts. Oh, Brock was under pressure that time. He threw to Goodlow, but Reggie Lewis came in on him. There are also penalty flags on the play.
Reggie Lewis put some heat on him. Brock tried to plant and throw back to the backside, and when you turn around, Reggie Lewis was right in his face.
It appears as though the penalty is against Toronto. Here's referee Shallow.
Offside, Toronto, center of the line.
That means they missed a number, I guess. Brock goes back. He's looking to his right. He plants. Now he's trying to come backside, and there he is. Reggie Lewis got there in a hurry and forced a high throw. But Reggie Lewis can rush the passer.
Second down, the drop play with Miller. He is not going to get the first down. I think he'll be about 1.5 yards short. Leon Lescavich was the man who made the tackle. Let's see where they place it. It's close enough to call for a measurement. It looks as though it is 1 yard short anyway. 12:23 is the time left to play. Winnipeg in front, 27-12. Well, it's not as
pretty close
short as I originally thought. And that means that Winnipeg will endeavor to obtain possession on this third down play.
You see right here, Thompson blocks down, and Bastaya comes around on the Southwick and does a good job blocking him. Of course, he's got him hooked there a little bit, but he gets him out of the play, and Lescavich makes the tackle to prevent the first down. But I think Brock can get this. What do you think?
Well, he's been successful in all his other third down gambles. Third and inches, he should have it.
You know Brock will carry it because when a quarterback gets in trouble, he always gives it to his best back. Always.
I had a feeling you would say that.
Just always does that for some reason. I don't know.
The nimble-footed number 23 making that comment.
When you get in trouble, give it to your best back. He looked around. He was the only one he could find.
That pass was knocked down right at the line of scrimmage by Lescavich, and now Reggie Lewis and Bobby Thompson engage in a little shoving match. However, other players quickly intervene.
That is 2 giants going to fight. Thompson is scary. Just look at him walk around when you're 6'8".
He blocks out the sun.
Oh, Leon bats that thing right down. If he picks that off, you know, he would have walked in there. He wouldn't have known how to act then. I mean,
Bobby Thompson.
A big man, over 300 pounds, standing about 6'8". Now, I know Reggie Lewis is big, but he might have to grow up to fight with that man.
They've got two big people at that tackle position, Winnipeg does, at the offensive spot. 6'6", Frank Smith. 6'8", Bobby Thompson. William Miller gets the block. Short of the first down, however, by about 1.5 yards. John Martini put the grab on William Miller.
It's a good thing Brock got rid of the ball because Reggie Lewis was right there again, and he reached for the ball that time instead of Brock, and the ball went underneath his arm to Miller, and Miller turns it into a good game.
11:08, the time remaining in the ball game as Bob Cameron comes in once again for the third down kick. Carinci, number 77, going back. Cameron stands at his own 22. Carinci is way back at his own 7-yard line. The Argonauts are going after it. Cameron had to hurry that kick, and it sails out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to rule that it went out at about the 33, and we'll be back with the Argonauts' first down play after this.
You gotta keep on changing, gotta move with the times. That's what it takes to be the best.
A 5-seater Pontiac mileage maker with a pull of front-wheel drive, that's gotta be Phoenix. Hardly a road too steep, a curve too tough for front-wheel drive Phoenix. Pontiac's X-Car, 4-cylinder or optional V6. Nobody's got it like Phoenix.
Nobody's got it like Pontiac.
You know who's got it, don't you?
Pontiac.
United Way means different things to different people. To me, it means the work it does with our youngsters. Agencies like the Y, Scouts and Guides, Boys and Girls Clubs, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and many others help develop the character and the confidence of our kids. This is Steve. He's a little brother. And thanks to you, United Way is working for him, too.
Well, the Blue Bombers continue to lead the Argonauts in this fourth